Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video, I would like to demonstrate different ways to decorate in old or new vessels that we all have lying around in our homes in abundance. So there's, as you can see up front, it's something, just a little different and creative. I decided to work with an old lampshade, but we'll talk more about that later. I've been a little bit MIA, and it has to do with, I'll go more into detail during the video, but we adopted a sweet little kitty, and it was very, very sick. It's still sick, but he is getting much better. We had to take him to the vet and just get him all healthy, and he is just so sweet, and the girls decided to name him Pete the cat. So we have a new family member, and I will be sharing him in upcoming videos. He's just the sweetest babe. Anyways, so that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so here we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different vessels in a tray. And we are going to create some very unique Christmas. It could be centerpieces or items just to place on a tablescape. Or I just said centerpiece, so tablescape, but or how about a vignette? I have this very old picture here that I adore. It was white. I normally have plants in here. Here's the marking at the bottom. But I just adore the color on this picture. I really don't have a clue on where I'm going to go with these. I have kind of an idea, but we're just going to let things go. Free and natural. Here is a pick that I purchased from, this was the Flower Gallery. I can always tell by his wonderful prices. Again, if you are in the Virginia area, you must go see the Flower Gallery in Manassas. They are wonderful there, and their prices are incredible. And just let them know that Bev from the Little Blue Fly says hello. Okay, so what we are going to work with, well, it won't be this, but this is a very old, it won't be the first one I'm decorating with. This is a very old piece my husband recently purchased for me, and it's an old chamber pot. And I don't want to hear any messages, ooh, chamber pot, but just, please, just don't, okay? This is a beautiful piece, and it can be used in many different ways. And then up front here is an old lampshade. I have shared this lamp before, and I just don't have a place to put the lamp right now, so I decided, well, let's just play with the shade a little bit, since it is my most favorite part of the lamp. I kind of have a lampshade fetish, I guess one could say. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with the lampshade. And then over here to the left, I have this vessel here. I really don't know how old it is. It has felt at the bottom. It kind of has the pewter look and feel, although it doesn't have the stamping of pewter that I can see anyhow. But it's going to work nicely in the decor. And then this old basket that I just don't even remember where I recently purchased this from. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and start working with this vessel right here first. And again, I never really know where I'm going with my projects. Kind of have an idea, but then they just take on their own shape, right? Their own feel of things. So many of us just place in these simple Christmas trees inside many of our vessels, and it's adorable, right? I love that look. It's simple, you know, just placing a tree inside and calling it a day, right? Because there's so much to be decorated. But I'm just going to do things a little bit differently. I have this vintage blue and white turkey platter that I decided to put on top. No worries, I know it's Christmas, but that's okay. The turkey's going to be covered, and we will have a little bit of the blue and whites peeking through. Perfect. Now, I thought that I was truly going to just put this tree, I mean, honestly, I did. I was just going to put it here on the plate, and that was it. And no, now it's going to transform. I guess I can't help myself. I have some different variety of seasonal nuts here. We have the pecans, some say pecan. We have the hazelnuts and the filberts and some walnuts. And what is the holiday without mixed nuts? And as you can see on my left hand, there's quite a few scratches where I will be going a little bit more into detail how I just managed to get all these scratches on my hand and my arm. Now I'm just placing in some dried oranges. These are from last year, and an orange is, you know, a dried orange is beautiful when they are first done, and even many years after, because I love the primitive look. And with the primitive look, you know, you tend to work with things that have been aged, right? So you don't always have to work with the perfect orange. Fresh orange is what I'm trying to say. It is lovely, but, you know, reuse them. Okay, so here is a scratch on my wrist area, and then I have one here going up my arm and also on my elbow. Well, the kitty that we just adopted was very, very sick. We took it to the vet. The poor boy, and I keep calling him a girl off and on too, so. But anyways, he had a fever, he was vomiting, you know, just all sorts of stuff coming out of everywhere. And yes, I am sidetracking from Christmas decorating, and that's just because so much has been going out this week to save this precious little kitty. And so we had all the lab work done, and he's going to be perfectly fine. He was poisoned. Isn't that horrible? Somebody was poisoning this sweet kitty, and he's going to live, and all of his organs are just fine, and he's a new member of our home. And he's adorable. I'm so sweet, so gentle. He's about 7 months old. And he got very scared when we first pulled up to the vet. He just knew, you know, he could smell it, right? I'm assuming. But anyways, he's now on his medicine and doing so much better. And now I can get back to decorating, because it just took, it took everything in me. It took my mind, it took my heart. I had to make this kitty better. So now that being said, let's continue, shall we? Okay, so we have nuts and oranges going on in here. Just making a festive little Christmas tree. Now I can promise you this, we have many videos coming up. Okay, this is just potpourri to have the nice scent coming out of the tree. It's like a winterberry scent. I'm going to be a very busy girl from here on out. I'm going to add in some, well, I am adding in some cinnamon sticks. Just, you know, little berries, you know, little touches of red here and there. So far, again, what I've used is dried oranges, some mixed nuts, some cinnamon sticks. I will be sprinkling more potpourri on the tree to get that nice winterberry scent. I'm going to add in some moss pine cones because we always have to work with the moss, right? Bring in the naturals with the faux, and it will just please every time when you blend the two together. So I'm just adding different things all around the tree. I have no idea where I'm going to be placing this, but it's going somewhere. And you can even add the mixed nuts up higher in the tree if you want to. They do not have to all just stay around down at the bottom. This faux tree, yeah, I didn't mention that. This was purchased from Merrifield Garden in Virginia. Okay, so I wanted to give reference to the pine cones. And here we have Creative Co-op. And there is the item number down at the bottom, for those of you that might be interested in trying to find some of these. I haven't come across these before, the moss pine cones. Large ones, yes, on a pick, but single ones by themselves, I have not. And the cinnamon sticks, they were just purchased from Hobby Lobby. They give that wonderful cinnamon scent that many of us love during the holidays, and some of us not so much because it makes us sneeze. And I will just be poking them all throughout the tree. So now we have the nuts and the oranges and the cinnamon sticks and the potpourri and the moss pine cones, and you know what? Did I just call those? No, I didn't call them pineapples. Maybe I was just thinking it. Anyhow, I'm a bit rusty. It's been a moment since I've put out a video. So really, you know, when you're decorating with your trees, add, you know, the things in that you love. You know, some might be, you know, little shiny ornaments or bells or... But I decided I wanted to add in just a little touch of some color, and I decided to use this ribbon. It's a velvet ribbon with gold trimming on the edges. Again, Creative Co-op. And here's the item number down at the bottom. It has a very aged look to it, look and feel to it. It is not wired, but it does have this gorgeous curl to it. and the rich velvety texture and color. I'm going to do a simple bunny ear bow. You know, when we were first learning to tie our shoes, right? We would just do a bunny ear to the left and right and fold it. That's all I'm doing. Super simple. Just fixing it, trying to get it, because sometimes a ribbon, right, is turned away. We don't want it to be, so we have to play with it a little bit. And I'm just going to place it up on top. Again, very simple, and just let a couple pieces of velvet ribbon drop down. And here we just have the perfect simple placement of some ribbon. And it brings so much character to this arrangement. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second project, and that will be this old, well, vintage lampshade as a vessel. And I'm going to use it pretty much as a tree skirt. I thought I was going to be able to place this tree just right in it up at top, but kind of too big. It's not going to go in there. So we are going to go underneath. That's what's great about these miniature trees. Just gather it up. You know, and they have the ones out there as well that are in the gorgeous wicker baskets, right? I love those. So I just keep bunching it up and then working the lampshade down. The whole time just hoping that this is going to work. We're almost there. Move the camera down so you all can see the full process. Yes, okay, fit perfectly. I was hoping the base of the tree wasn't too tall and it would lift up the lampshade, and that just wouldn't have worked. But it's perfect. Now I have the tree all fluffed out, the branches put in place pretty much, and now down at the bottom I decided to add in some moss. And this moss, I believe, if it wasn't purchased at Hobby Lobby, it was Michael's, but you can pretty much get moss anywhere. So now this tree I'm going to call my Velvet and Golden Star tree. I have all of these Mercury stars that I will be placing on the tree using velvet, and some shorter using a hook. And I will use the same ribbon that I used on the tree. So I decided, I didn't share it, but I pulled off, you know, a couple of the pieces, and I decided to add lights just going down the center part of the tree for some light when I place this in my vignette. So I added 5 velvet stars onto the tree, and then some shorter stars, just using, you know, some metal hooks. This next item, that is the name of the company. These were purchased from Merrifield Garden. And again, I decided to make this my star tree. And I think what I'm going to do is just place it up on a branch and just let it, you know, just scallop down, right? Just drape down gently all around the tree. Yes, that's going to work nicely. Okay, so I wrapped it up, although it's different right now. So when I decorate with it in the next video, we will see how I decided to place these stars on. But for today, I just did just one simple garland. I do have more, but just one for today was placed on. Okay, so now we will go to this vintage picture that I have. Now on this one, I am going to, I have a tree or I have a pick. You know, we can go either way, right? You know, it's always nice seeing these pine sprays coming out with different types of berries out of the pictures. But I'm just going to keep it simple and just place a tree right inside. And I have a little riser inside of the picture. It's just like a little glass jar, so my tree would come up higher. And that's all I will be doing with the picture for today. I just wanted to share how you can just place a simple tree on the inside. But there is a little bit of a twist to it, and I'm going to do a little bit of layering because here at the cottage, I do not have a lot of room. So layering is great because there's so many pieces I love, but I just don't have the room for everything. So the picture was placed on top of an old book in the basket, and I thought to just make just a little like reading scene going on here, because I love to pick up a book, and you know, even if it's just to read a few pages, you know, it's always nice. It helps me to unwind. Putting in one little pick down here at the bottom. And I have these candles. They are by Root. And I'm going to place 3 of them over to the side. Now I will be removing the labels. I'm just getting a feel for everything right now. And then this book, now many of us, we use them as risers, or, you know, we place them to the side and lean them. But I just wanted to work with it a little bit differently just because the cover of this book is so gorgeous. I decided I just want to hang it from the side of the basket. And I love this look. So we have our picture with our tree, giving us all the Christmas feels with some cedar down at the bottom, some candles. Now I'm just going to add in a simple candle holder. It's not vintage or anything. It is, you know, a newer one. And just tucking it here at the bottom. So I just want to share that this is like a one-stop shop, right? Okay, you get to take your candle out, your candle holder, place a candle in there. Try to get it in there so it doesn't fall, right? And then you grab your book and open it up and just read however many pages that you can at that moment. And it's just a wonderful feel, you know, to have the tree and the book and the candle. Now you can keep it like this. It's going to have all the drippy wax, or you can take it back apart and put everything back into the basket. Now for I love this blue and white chamber pot. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to place it. I will figure that out. And I'm going to keep this very simple for now and just share, just simply placing in a tree inside of the vessel. Having, you know, the wicker down at the bottom is just everything with the blue and white. Gives a gorgeous English country feel. And then I will have a couple of them to the left and to the right. And these were purchased, a few years ago from Bed Bath & Beyond. And I will be adding more to them. So see, it really is wonderful working with these mini trees, what we can accomplish with them, right? Blue and whites with all the aged wood is wonderful. Just look at that. Such a cozy, homey feel. And it's so simple. Nothing's on them. Okay, for the last part, we have this tray that was purchased from, where was it? Home Goods. And one could even use a wooden tray would be gorgeous, or one of them antique banister bases would just be stunning. But I don't have any of those on hand. So we'll work with this cake plate. But I did decide to put this placemat on top because the tray is just so slippery. And this really warms up the arrangement. This is a berry stem. I've used a couple of these in my dining area already in the hutch, but I decided to cut this one up a little bit to achieve what I'm going for here, which is a very, just a very old world, you know, English country feel. I make sure to bend my stems so that they look a little bit more natural. And these were purchased from Merrifield Garden. Again, bend those stems, you know, weave the greenery and the berries, fluff things a little bit. You know, try to achieve that wild, you know, nature look and feel. Now I'm going to tuck in my saucers and teacups, and these are linked down in my description box. Many of you continue to ask, how do I get to your Amazon storefront? Under the title of this video, you will see the word more. Click on that and a box will come up, and just scroll down. There is a link there to my Amazon storefront where I have these dishes linked. And again, just tucking them into the greenery. Just letting all of it just spray out and over. I like for things to tuck and hide at times, not at just, you know, be all out in the open. Trying to pull this little piece of cedar out. There we go. So 3 teacups and saucers on top of this cake platter and placemat, with some cedar greenery and berries. Now, what would it be without some candles? Now, this, what I'm making right now, it could really be a centerpiece for your dining table. But these candle holders weren't so much for the look of it all. I just needed something to be very stable so the candle won't shift to the left and to the right. I used low profile chunky candles. So I have them all placed in the cups. And again, this could be a centerpiece, or, you know, place it on any table countertop. And I will add in some moss, always the moss during the holidays. Or really during any time for that matter. And again, low profile chunky candles. And if you want, you know, if you just wanted to have a cup of tea and with some candlelight, you could even grab a cup and saucer off of this tray and take it with you wherever you're at. Now I placed moss in down on the placemat as well, all around. I could add some oranges right here in the center if I wanted to. That looks really, really pretty. But I decided not to for today. But instead, I will be placing in some mixed nuts. Now I hope all of you continue to look out for my videos this week, because they are coming. And I hope many of you find some inspiration from some of these Christmas items I placed together today.